this is Blair here. He's the spokesperson for the Heart Attack Grill. And this is an actual commercial. And I just wanted to play it for you guys because I think it demonstrates a good point as to where we are as a society.
Other diets don't deliver results, but I've made incredible progress on the Heart Attack Grill diet. A couple months ago, I was wearing these.
No dangerous yo-yo syndrome. I personally guarantee a stable upward progression of body weight while you're enjoying great tasting foods like a double bypass burger and flatliner fries. Along with a cold beer and cigarette, it's a diet program that you can stick to for life.
What I like best is the person-to-person counseling from my very own nurse.
The Heart Attack Grill diet is not for everyone. Side effects may include sudden weight gain, repeated increase of wardrobe size, back pain, male breast growth, loss of sexual partners, lung cancer, tooth decay, liver sclerosis, stroke, and an inability to see your penis. In some cases, mild death may occur. Ask your doctor if the Heart Attack Grill diet is right for you.
So, Blair was 29 years old when he made that commercial, well over 500 pounds. And Blair was also 29 years old when he died from massive complications from his obesity. And that's not even the sad part of the story. After Blair passed away, the Heart Attack Grill needed a new spokesperson. So the next person they turned to was their old spokesperson, who had conveniently just come out of a coma after getting a quadruple bypass. When asked why he took the job, the old spokesperson took the job back. He said, well, you know, my wife tells me I shouldn't eat the burgers, my cardiologist tells me I shouldn't eat the burgers, but you know what? I just like the burgers. So it kind of shows you the mentality of where we are. Just a few stats about obesity, probably standing right in front of it for most of you. Obesity rates in the last 19 years, in 1990, 4 states had obesity rates of 15% to 19%, only 4. In 2005, only 4 states had rates below 20%. So they just totally flip-flopped in about 15 years. And in 2009, the most recent stat we have on obesity, there was only 1 state that had less than 20% obesity. Anybody know what that state was? Can you guess? I'll tell you in a second. And on average, an obese person spends $1,400 more a year on medical services. 2/3 of adult Americans are overweight. That's 66%. By 2022, 80%. Think about that. 8 out of 10 people overweight. Overweight has now become the #1 preventable cause of disease. It is now safer to smoke a cigarette than eat a cheeseburger. It's finally overtaken the #1 cause of preventable diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, cancer, all of them. The costs are enormous, and it's spawned a business that's $57 billion. The diet business alone makes $57 billion a year. Our children, 33% of the children are obese in this country. Healthcare costs, $147 billion a year are spent through our healthcare system. And we wonder why it's collapsing and we aren't able to sustain it. On average, 40% more healthcare than non-obese people. The one state? Colorado. I think it's because of the altitude. If you are obese, you can't breathe. There's no oxygen. So this is where we're headed. This stat right here actually blows my mind. It makes me really sad. For the first time ever, the children that are being born now have been predicted to live less time than you. That's the first time this has ever happened in the country. 1/3 of the US children are expected to develop diabetes, 33%. And 1 in 4 Americans from the ages of 17 to 24 aren't eligible for the military because they're obese. 25% of the country. What were you doing when you were 17 or 24? I think you were able to join the military. I think you were physically fit enough. So why are we like this? The modern medical model focuses on sickness. It doesn't focus on creating health. When do you go to the doctor? You go to the doctor when you're sick. What do they give you? They give you a pill to make you not sick. The pharmaceutical companies aren't going to make a pill that makes you healthy because then you don't have to take the pill anymore. There's no way you can make money by creating pills that create health. And that's what they're all about, is creating money. The current medical model believes that we're sick because of bad genes and bad luck. You know, oh, well, Fred, he got colon cancer, he's got bad luck. Or Sally, she has breast cancer, she must have had the breast cancer gene. We're sicker than ever because of our environment. This is a picture of the Great Lakes from, I believe it was the 1970s, when all the fish in the Great Lakes were dying. Nobody would have looked at those fish and said, oh, it must be bad genes. They're all dying because of bad genes. It has to be. I mean, what else is the other option? It's because of their environment, what they're living in, and what they're eating. And as humans, we're still animals. Modern medicine assumes we're outside of natural law, that we're no longer mammals. I like the example of the chimpanzee, because it's kind of, you can picture him as yourself. What would that chimpanzee get healthier or sicker if he did what you did all day? If he ate what you ate, if you worked where you work, if you sat where you sat, would he be healthier or sicker? 99% of the time, sicker, without question. This is a great story. This is a true story. In 2001, a family in Kentucky, they had a dog taken away from them because they were feeding him chips and soda. You're like, well, that makes perfect sense. That's animal abuse. Great, we got the bad guys. The sad part is, they left 2 children behind. They're feeding the kids the same thing they're feeding the dog. Why is it okay? So this is a little bit of the stats behind weight loss. If you take 2,000 calories in and you have 2,000 calories out, what's going to happen to your weight? It's going to stay the same, right? So nothing's going to happen. So what we propose you do is we take out the 2,000 calories and you take in 1,000. So if you're taking in 1,000, you're expending 2,000, what happens? You lose weight, right? But what are some of the issues that come up if you're only taking in 1,000 calories a day? You're like, well, I'm going to be starving. I'm going to be irritable. I'm going to be malnourished. The way that it works is your body is great at storing energy, and it stores it in 2 different spots. It stores it in your liver as glycogen, or sugar, and it also stores it in your fat. So when we decrease your calories to 1,000, you're getting the extra calories from those 2 sources. Now, to deal with the malnutrition issue, when you're on the program, all of the foods, all of the vitamins and minerals are supplied that you would ever possibly need. There are no deficiencies run while you're on the program. After you've reached your goal weight, we'll transition you out of the program and into a Be Slim lifestyle, or a lifestyle that you can propagate and stay the weight that you are. What we're trying to do is we're trying to avoid the insulin insanity that we all go through every single day. When the typical American eats all day, their insulin spikes, their insulin drops. That's why you get tired in the afternoon, you get irritable, and you get really hungry. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go through a day in the life of insulin in the average American's body. So if this is a baseline for insulin, that's the flat line, our insulin's going to go up and down around this line. So a typical day, you wake up, you're late for work, you eat no breakfast, stop at Dunkin' Donuts on the way, you get your large French vanilla with extra sugar and cream and a bagel. That spikes you through the roof. So now you're feeling great, tons of sugar, right? Insulin goes up. Late lunch, you're tired, you're dragging. So you go out, you don't have much time, grab some fast food, grab a Burger King or a Subway or something like that. Again, spikes you through the roof, you head back to work. You leave work, you're starving, it's late, you go home, shovel in your face so you can make it to watch American Idol, eat a bowl of ice cream with American Idol, and you're off into the stratosphere of insulin and sugar. This is pretty much how we work. We say 3 meals a day is okay, and most people don't even eat breakfast, so we're really down to 2 meals a day. What we propose on the Ideal Protein Plan is that you eat 4 meals a day. Smaller portions, smaller calorie sizes, and what that does is that keeps your insulin from spiking and dropping so vastly. You get rid of the cravings, you have more energy, and you're more stable throughout the day. One of these meals you are responsible for yourself, and we instruct you on the correct portion size and the correct foods to eat. We like to refer to that meal as the lean and green meal because you have to eat a lean meat with it, and you also have to eat a vegetable with it. It's 4 to 7 ounces of lean meat and 2 cups of vegetables. This can be eaten throughout the day at any time. It doesn't necessarily have to be dinner. And you can also eat with your family. This is something that introduces eating well to your families. It keeps you in the real world of food. The Ideal Protein is a portion-controlled meal replacements. They're a high-quality food, no stimulants or drugs. They're convenient, they're simple, and they're goof-proof. If you eat what you tell you to eat, you'll lose weight. It's that simple. Oh, and they're cost neutral. It costs about $85 a week, and it's 90% of your food. If anybody here knows how to shop for 90% of your food for $85 a week, I need to know where you're shopping, because I can't do it. So as we're transitioning you off into regular foods after you've lost the weight, these are very important, the foods that our ancestors ate in high quantities. Because we were originally hunter-gatherers. That's where our DNA has come from. That's where our digestive system has come from. So things that we ate in high quantities were vegetables, fruits, grass-fed meat and poultry, nuts, seeds, and wild fish. Things that were rarely consumed, that you see highly consumed today, were grains, like wheat and corn. If you're a hunter-gatherer and you walk by a field of wheat, how long is it going to take you to turn that into a loaf of bread? Where do you start? You don't have the manpower, you don't have the time. So they never ate wheats and grains. That's why our body only knows how to turn it into sugar. That's what we do with wheats and grains. We just break it down to sugar. Dairy products. Animal husbandry was 4,000 or 5,000 years off when we became hunter-gatherers. We did not have animal husbandry. We did not have cows that we raised for milk. What other mammal on the planet drinks another mammal's milk? You don't see a cat drinking camel's milk. You don't see a dog drinking goat's milk. But why do you think it's okay to drink cow's milk? The best milk you could probably drink is actually human breast milk. But if I offered you any of the glass of that, you'd think it was disgusting. But why cow's milk? It's totally different. It's a foreign protein that your body's not used to. That's why you get that inflammatory response of the runny nose or that mucusy feeling in the back of your throat. Processed sugars, we all know, the white sugars, the high fructose corn syrups, that's been recently popularized in the news, so we all know that those are things that we rarely consumed. Grain-fed meats, this might be surprising to some of you. The way that they beef up their stock, no pun intended, in the cows, is that they feed them grain and they feed them corn, because they sell them by pound, so it makes them fatter. But cows never ate grain and they never ate corn. So what it does is it increases the inflammatory response in their bodies, and you get all those hormones in your meat. It also fills them with saturated fat, which you would not get with a grass-fed, free-range beef. So this is my fun part of the show. This is where we get to show you the success stories through the office. I'm sure Amanda's really happy right now. So I'm just going to show you a few pictures of the success stories we've had through the office. So there's Amanda.
Don't you be proud, girl.
And this is Amanda now. Down 24 pounds, average of 4 pounds a week. This is Sarah, actually one of Amanda's close friends.
My best friend.
That was her when she first came to see us. And this is Amanda now.
Wow.
Sarah now.
Sarah, I'm sorry. Dropped 3 pant sizes, down 35 pounds. And she actually wrote she no longer dreads looking in the mirror. That's not something that we made up for her. This is Kelly. And Kelly now. 36 pounds, 4 pant sizes. This is Phil. When Phil came to us, he was 290 pounds and on cholesterol-lowering medication. Oh, actually, just to go back. Kelly actually, she told us this week that she's now off of her metformin, which is a pre-diabetic drug. So, just another insight into Kelly. Phil is he self-proclaimed himself the superstar of the office. He calls himself the freak consistently, because this is Phil now.
Oh my gosh.
Phil's lost 55 pounds in 9 weeks, and he's no longer on cholesterol-lowering medication. So he's doing it okay. This is David, a really happy guy, loves getting his picture taken. This is David 5 months later, off of most of his meds. Denise, another person. Everybody loves getting their picture taken on the first day.
Yeah, before pictures rule.
Right. And Denise has lost 77 pounds in 6.5 months.
Wow.
So that's what we do.